Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I've been following this issue for some time, and especially since the Russian special military operation, invasion, attack, however you want to call it. Moreover, and that is the price of oil. The price of oil on the market and how it fluctuated up and down the price per barrel. And I've been covering a few articles since February 24th regarding what certain kind of experts, analysts, and other weasels were telling us about their predictions, what they think about how the prices will go up or go down according to the circumstances. So I don't know what to say. Basically, you have only two chances: up and down, or if you want, nothing, but that doesn't really happen. So it's either price is gonna increase or it's gonna decrease. So you have, let's say, 50%. That's go at the casino and play with a 50% odd, and you're gonna be like, whew, you know what I mean? So you're already there. Now, I have here the Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs reports that oil prices may soar above $100 this year. From the top of my cuckoo head, I can tell you that I covered at least 2 or 3 same kind of articles in the past where they said it's going to be the price per barrel, the oil, will get to $360 a barrel. They said if the weasels will impose a price cap on Russian oil. Well, that starts what, next month or something? We'll see how that's gonna play in. This guy says, oh, only $100. Only one above 100 is 1,000. Is that what you mean? Or above 100 is 3,000. Above 100 is 101. Which one is it? I mean, I don't like this kind of BS. But anyway, these are the experts. At least keep your, you know what I mean? But the investment bank has predicted a new super cycle for energy assets this year. Strengthening global demand and China's reopening may push oil prices above $100 per barrel this year. Oil price reported on Tuesday, citing a recent forecast by Goldman Sachs. The U.S. investment bank expects Brent crude to trade at $105 per barrel by the fourth quarter of 2022. So what? October, November, December, something like this, right? September, October, November, December. And says oil demand will surge by 2.7 million barrels per day this year. All right. However, in the second half of 2023, the market may return to a deficit, economists warned. The forecast comes as China announced massive oil import quotas after reopening its borders and giving permission to 44 private refineries to import 111.82 million metric tons of crude. Bloomberg reported, quoting traders familiar with the issues. Oil prices surged by 4% on Monday on the news about Asia's biggest economy reopening, giving grounds for expectation that strengthening growth in global demand would allow the OPEC Plus alliance to unwind its October production cut in the second half of the year. They cut with 2 million barrels a day. Now, however, Goldman Sachs said that if the market turns out to be softer, then the alliance could stick to its October cuts or cut production even further, given its significant pricing power. Guess who's going to be Europe, not the United States, because I just read another article before this one saying that Venezuela just shipped its first shipment through Chevron to United States of America. I think 1 million barrels of crude oil. So the Americans make the Europeans and the G7 and all the weasels impose price caps, which the Russians said, we're not going to give you shit in this case. Impose them, that means shoot themselves in the foot over and over. And I think the foot is not there anymore. I think they got already to the knee already. That's how many bullets got, and That's how Europe and some G7 countries, Japan, and Japan said no, we're not going to do it. Actually, Japan, I think they stay with the Russians, say fuck you, we're not going to go. And I don't know about Australia, but nevertheless, talking about this, these guys, they impose on everybody, but they get the crude oil from different areas. Now they cut Guaido's Venezuelan opposition president, the president of the alternate president of Venezuela. They cut that guy loose. Now the Venezuela's sent arrest warrants to the shadow second government formed and supported by the United States of America. Why? Because the Americans met the Venezuelans and they said, hey Maduro, all of a sudden you're not a bad dude anymore, okay? Somehow you're the good dude, so if you give us some oil, you're a-okay. But what are you going to give me in return? Well, I'm going to give you oil. Pfft, that's exactly what I needed. What do you want in return? I want you to just take your hand off those guys that you, keep under your little warm, stinky wing, okay? And they say, yeah, deal. Thank you very much. Hasta la vista. See you never. So anyway, that's what happens. So Chevron sends oil to the United States of America, 1 billion a day. If that is what it is, that covers half of what OPEC did, 2 million a day. For the global, remember, the United States, I think, is still tapping, its oil strategic reserves from Texas, the one that are, what, 714 million barrels, that got to 414 or something like this, after they sucked as much as possible so they can get elected. It's such a weasel. Anyway, good. That means my gas will be cheaper. So yeah, I love negotiations. Yes. Although economists warn that markets will be tight, we like it tight, in the first quarter due to a downturn in many wealthy economies, the bank still expects what it calls a new supercycle in commodities, saying they look set to be the best performing type of asset in 2023. Do you have any money put in this kind of assets? No. Do I have? No. So some will make money and some will make money not. You know what I mean? So this is how things are organized here. And yeah, I think that's the oil prices will jump that high because the Russians will cut production, not selling probably enough to the Asian market by stopping selling to whomever, G7 and European weasels. So that means they will have a lot of oil. They will transfer it to the markets that will be depleted by the fact that Arabs are giving the Europeans. The Europeans have to take the oil somewhere. Where are they going to take it from? From the Arabs, and Arabs will probably not give to the Asians. Russia is going to go to Asia. It's just a reshuffling of this. The problem is European Union will buy oil and gas at a premium price instead of buying the Russian. But hey, if the boss told you what to do, you do that. Otherwise, it's bang. Okay, so you can't do that. So anyway, the Americans are a-okay. They got Venezuela right there as their second supplier ready for them. That's going to aggravate the Iranians because the Iranians provide some, I don't know, softeners or something, whatever. It's not called softeners, I can't remember the way it's called, for refining the oil and so on. Now the Americans are going to provide with Chevron, so the Iranians are going to be kicked out. America take Venezuela as being my personal oil pump right here, as they tried to do with Siberia and the Russians, but the Russians are back, so it doesn't work so far. So what do you want? Do what you gotta do. The problem is, who is the one who's most Europeans, weasels. I might say you deserve what you ask for, but you know, you have no foreign policy. You have NATO troops over there, which is basically United States of America. You have American nuclear weapons on your territory. They tell you kind of like what to do. You just signed a little NATO EU decree over there, alliance, which basically says, okay, we accept NATO to be our military force to defend our interests wherever the Americans allow us to. Anyway, gotta love this, how's it called, law-based community, world community or something like this, world order, beautiful, blah, 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 blah. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.